We didn't expect to find as much as we did.
There's no way these features are natural.
Although it may seem unlikely that anything could be discovered in the desert, archaeologists studying the desolate area have stumbled upon some unexpected and unique discoveries that left them all baffled. These astonishing discoveries caught the interest of people all across the world, and now everyone is curious about their origins. Here are the 15 most shocking things found in the desert. Number 15. Video game cartridges. Documentary filmmakers discovered hundreds of Atari Inc. video game cartridges showing E.T. the Extraterrestrial while exploring a landfill in New Mexico. These cartridges, which numbered over 800,000, were infamous for being the worst video game ever developed and contributed to Atari's demise in the 1980s. The game was developed quickly, with the aim of releasing it with a movie, but it fell short of expectations and was never released. Atari hid the games in a 30-foot hole on a 300-acre site in the New Mexico desert, and paid the authorities to help get rid of them in a city landfill in a desperate effort. Atari denied knowing where the games were or what had happened to them. The cartridges had attained legendary status due to their inexplicable disappearance when they were recovered years later.
I made this game 32 years ago, and it is totally thrilling to me to see that something I worked on that long ago is still having impact.
Game cartridges may not be a treasure, but the next one on this list definitely is. Number 14. Shipwreck with gold. We have seen pirate ships filled with gold only in movies. However, in April 2008, miners from the diamond company De Beers uncovered the wreckage of a 500-year-old Portuguese ship in a Namibian desert, filled with gold coins worth over 9 million pounds. The wreckage, discovered in a drained lagoon, was identified as belonging to the Bom Jesus, a ship that vanished with its crew on board near the Namibian diamond mining town of Oranjemund in 1533, while en route to India from Lisbon. In addition to the gold coins, religious artifacts, clothing, and the bones of a sailor were found, providing insights into the period of history when the shipwreck occurred. This discovery is among several shipwrecks found on the outskirts of the desert in recent years, with the oldest being the Vilsengen that washed ashore in Mayab Bay in 1747. Number 13. Horned kangaroo skulls. Subterranean fossils were uncovered in Australia's Nullarbor Desert in 2003, featuring the first complete horned kangaroo skulls. The site was originally excavated in 2002 when John Long of the Western Australian Museum discovered the skull parts of horned kangaroos and the first full skeletons of the thylacine, a large marsupial lion. The researchers unearthed 2 entire horned kangaroo heads, 2 additional thylacine skeletons, and fossils of 3 new kangaroo species in their later dig. Radiometric dating was used to ascertain the real age of the sites, which were believed to be between 200,000 and 500,000 years old. Horned kangaroos were once widespread across ancient Australia, particularly in the Nullarbor area, and made up 50% of all skeletal remains at the site. These kangaroos were identified by their high-crowned front incisors with a thick layer of enamel. The new species discovered are yet to be named. Number 12. Mano del Desiardo. Mano del Desiardo, also known as the giant hand of the desert in Chile, is an intriguing and mesmerizing sight to behold. The hand is made of concrete and stands out in the vast emptiness of the Atacama Desert, one of the driest places on Earth. The hand is situated in a remote area, which only adds to its mystique and allure. It is said to represent human frailty and vulnerability, as the hand seems to be reaching out for help from the vast emptiness of the desert. Its sheer size and magnitude are awe-inspiring, making it a must-see destination for anyone traveling through Chile. Despite being a target for vandals, the giant hand of the desert remains a symbol of hope and perseverance. It is a mystery how it got here and what's beneath it. Number 11. Egyptian burial boat. Ancient Egypt is known for its shocking culture. One of their customs was burying a vehicle of some sort in tombs. This was a widely practiced tradition in ancient times. For example, the tomb of King Tut contained 6 chariots, while others opted for boats, which were not limited to just the elite class. Even peasants would place reed boats, which were of bad quality, cheap and affordable, in their graves. However, a surprising discovery was made in the Saharan desert in 2016, where a vessel was uncovered after remaining buried for 4,500 years in the sands of the Abu Zir necropolis. The boat, measuring 60 feet in length, was made of exceptionally high-quality wood, which is why it remained relatively intact when excavated. What was puzzling about this discovery was that it was not buried in the grave of a noble or general, but rather a commoner. It seemed unlikely that a peasant could afford such a boat, raising questions as to how it came to be buried there. Next up, we have a desert feature many conspiracy theorists think could be an alien intervention. Number 10. Fairy circles. These round-shaped marks found in the Namib Desert made people wonder if they were being watched by aliens. For years, scientists have been captivated by the mysterious circular shapes that appear in the vegetation of the Namib Desert in Namibia. These concentric circles, evenly spaced across the arid landscape, have sparked many theories, from fires and winds to even extraterrestrial activity. Despite extensive research, the true explanation for these fairy circles remains elusive. However, New Scientist reports that two theories have gained people's support. One proposes that termites created the circles by clearing vegetation around their nests, which results in underground water reserves. The other suggests that the circles arise from plant competition for water. However, neither theory entirely explains why the circles remain barren for extended periods without any apparent sign of colonies. Even though the mystery remains unsolved, these strange circles continue to intrigue both scientists and visitors to the Namib Desert. Number 9. Fake Prada store. We seem to think that fashion stores can only be found on the vibrant streets of a rich city. However, a fake Prada store was found in the Texas desert. It was set up as an art experiment called Prada Marfa. An isolated storefront in the Texas desert may seem like an unusual sight, but it is actually an art installation by Michael Elmgreen and Ingar Dragset. The sculpture is a life-sized replica of a Prada boutique. The store was created from biodegradable materials and left to decay over time as commentary on consumerism and tourism. Despite the artist's intention to leave it untouched, the installation has suffered from theft and vandalism, sparking controversy. Nevertheless, it has become a popular tourist destination, with visitors including celebrities traveling to see it. Prada Marfa's remote location and its juxtaposition of luxury and decay add to its allure, and it continues to be a thought-provoking work of art that challenges the way we view consumer culture. Number 8. Graveyard of Sea Mammals. It is well known that a desert doesn't have enough water, and the desert animals cannot swim. However, during road work in 2010, the fossils of 40 whales and a variety of other marine creatures such as dolphins, seals, and fish related to swordfish were discovered at Cerro Balena, a hill in Chile's Atacama Desert that sits 40 meters above sea level. The sheer number of animals and the range of species initially suggest a rare case of mass fossilization. How could so many different creatures have all died at the same time and been preserved so well? The most widely accepted explanation is that the animals were deposited over an extended period of time, and that the hill was a location where their remains washed up and were preserved by nature for millions of years. However, there is a more alarming theory that suggests a spontaneous algae infection was responsible for their deaths, leading the creatures to wash up on land. Regardless of the cause, this unique resting place is now a fascinating location. People started to make assumptions that this may be the location of the Ark of Noah, which was filled with animals before the Great Flood. Number 7. Gobi Desert Pattern. In 2011, a strange sight in China's Gobi Desert caught the attention of Google Earth users. Mysterious white lines consisting of silver square blocks and concentric circles. These markings ignited curiosity and speculation online, with people offering various theories about their purpose, including suggestions that they were targets for satellite-based weapons, or even messages sent to extraterrestrial life forms. However, Jonathan Hill, a research technician at Arizona State University's Mars Space Flight Facility, believes that the zigzag forms were most likely calibration targets for the Chinese satellites. Despite this explanation, many enthusiasts and conspiracy theory experts continue to promote the concept of aliens being responsible for the markings. The discovery of these markings in the Gobi Desert highlights the mysterious and enigmatic nature of our world and reminds us that there is much that we do not yet know or understand. It is intriguing to think that there may be signs of human activity, such as these markings, that remain hidden from our view, waiting to be discovered by chance. Number 6. Phone Booth. The Mojave Desert in California is known for being empty. However, in the same desert, there was a telephone booth located 12 miles away from the nearest paved road. It was built in 1948 to serve the local volcanic cylinder miners and was continually updated until its removal in 2000. After its removal, a tombstone decorated with ceramic tiles was erected to honor the spot where the phone booth once stood. It became famous when a man named Godfrey Daniels, while strolling through the Mojave Desert, stumbled upon it. He was surprised to find a phone booth in such a remote location, and repeatedly dialed the phone until he finally got an answer from a woman named Laureen, who lived off the grid and used the phone booth for her calls. Daniels became fascinated with the phone booth and its remote location, and he eventually built a website dedicated to it. He published the phone number of the booth, 760-733-9969, on the website, which attracted many curious callers from all over the world. However, due to its remote location, the phone booth became a target for vandalism, and it was eventually removed. Despite its removal, the Mojave phone booth remains a beloved icon of the desert, representing the human need for connection and the allure of the unknown. And now it's time for today's subscriber's pick. This photo of two terrifying skeletons found in the desert have been making rounds on the internet. No one knows how old these human remains are, or how come they ended up in the scorching desert. Some people think that these are fake Halloween decorations just meant to scare people, while others are speculating that these could be the remains of explorers who got lost in the desert. What do you think is the story behind these skeletons? Tell us in the comments below using the hashtag #SubscribersPick. Number 5. Giant arrows of Arizona. Directions can be confusing, and sometimes we rely on Google Maps to reach our destinations. However, in Arizona, giant concrete arrows were found that makes one wonder who they were intended for. These arrows were built by the Air Traffic Control Association during the late 1920s and early 1930s, when airmail was the primary means of long-distance communication. The arrows, which can measure up to 70 feet in length, were placed at the base of illuminated beacons that helped pilots navigate the skies. These arrows were used in the days before satellites and GPS technology, when pilots had to rely on visual aids for navigation. Although many of the beacons have been dismantled over the years, the arrows remain abandoned and are occasionally discovered by hikers or aviation enthusiasts who scour Google's aerial maps. These arrows provide a fascinating glimpse into the early days of aviation and the challenges that pilots faced before the advent of modern technology. Despite being long forgotten, the arrows serve as a reminder of the pioneering spirit and ingenuity of those who blazed a trail in the skies. Number 4. Tunisian Lake. Most people are familiar with the dryness of deserts and the fact that lakes are rare in these regions. But in 2014, shepherds in Tunisia stumbled upon an unusually large body of water, spanning about 1 hectare and reaching depths of up to 18 meters. This unexpected find was dubbed Lac de Gafsa by the locals, and very quickly it became a popular destination for those seeking refuge from the scorching heat. However, concerns were raised about the potential for contamination and radioactivity due to the region's phosphate mining activity. Despite the water turning green, people continued to visit the lake, which had a unique charm that drew visitors in. Seismologists say that the lake may have been formed by an underground spring that was accidentally released during the mining process. The area's phosphate mines may have disturbed the soil and rock layers, causing the spring to be exposed and leading to the formation of the lake. Although the green water may suggest that the lake is contaminated, it is possible that the water is enriched with nutrients that support the growth of algae and other aquatic plants. Regardless, locals and visitors continue to visit the lake. People believe that the emerald color of the water has healing powers and can heal diseases. Number 3. Dead Sea Scrolls. Dead Sea Scrolls have appeared in movies and in history lessons countless times. However, this was the first time these scrolls were being mentioned in the news. Parts of an ancient scroll, believed to be around 2,000 years old, were uncovered in the Cave of Horror, located near the western bank of the Dead Sea. This find is a reminder of the tumultuous history of the Dead Sea Scrolls. These scrolls, which date back to between 3rd century BC and 1st century AD, comprise a collection of ancient Jewish religious texts that were found in the Qumran Mountains in the Judean desert in 1946. They hold great historical, religious, and linguistic significance, as they contain the second oldest known accounts of the Holy Bible. The newly discovered fragments were found as part of a larger project by the Israeli Antiquities Authority to uncover additional manuscripts. The cave was named Cave of Horror due to the presence of numerous skeletons, including those of children, as well as personal documents, a fragment of Hebrew prayer, and the scroll to which these fragments belong. These items were hidden at the back of the cave, presumably for safekeeping. If these terrifying scrolls found with human remains made you queasy, what we have in number 1 will send you off the rails. But first, let's take a look at a strange car-themed art installation. Number 2. Cadillac Ranch. Cadillac cars have been a favorite car brand for Americans for years. This ranch, located along Route 66 near Amarillo, Texas, is a unique art installation that has become an iconic destination for tourists and artists, as it features a distinct form of art which cannot be seen at art galleries. Created in 1974 by a group of artists called the Ant Farm, this installation consists of 10 Cadillac cars buried nose first into the ground, all painted in bright colors and adorned with graffiti. The artists were inspired by the rise and fall of the American automobile industry. Visitors are encouraged to bring their own spray paint and leave their mark on the cars, resulting in a constantly changing canvas of colors and messages. Despite the constant graffiti, the cars remain a symbol of Americana and nostalgia. The Cadillac Ranch also has sparked many conspiracy theories and urban legends. Some believe that the installation is haunted by the ghosts of the artists who created it, while others claim that it holds a secret message or hidden meaning. Despite the mystery, the Cadillac Ranch continues to attract visitors from all over the world who are intrigued by its beauty. Number 1. 8 million mummified dogs. The relationship between animals and ancient Egyptians was a complex story. They loved animals, but they also wanted to sacrifice masses of animals to please their masters. This was revealed by the discovery of a massive cemetery filled with mummified dogs in the city of Saqqara, Egypt. In 2011, archaeologists uncovered this vast cemetery that contained the remains of millions of dogs that had been mummified. Recently, the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities announced the discovery of the cemetery. According to experts, the mummified dogs were buried as offerings to Anubis, the god of the afterlife, as part of a religious ritual that dates back over 2,500 years. This ritual had the intention of making Anubis happy, so that the worshipper's afterlife journey will be easy. The sheer number of dog mummies found in the cemetery is astonishing, with estimates ranging from 4 to 8 million. The site is considered to be of great historical and cultural significance, and plans are underway to preserve and protect the dog cemetery. The discovery sheds light on the religious beliefs and practices of ancient Egyptians, particularly their reverence for animals and their belief in an afterlife. Deserts around the world still hold many secrets and mysteries waiting to be uncovered, so next time you find yourself trekking through the sand dunes, keep an eye out for any unusual objects or structures, because who knows what you might discover. But that's all we have for this one. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.